We will be covering Unit 6 review. Y'all's test will be on Thursday. So number 1 reads, what is the value of x in the solution to the system of equations below? Okay, so if you'll remember, this is one that I told y'all, when it says the word system, you don't necessarily have to solve all the way for y equals. You want to make sure it's in y equals, but you don't have to simplify. So here, since this already says y equals, I can put this in y1 exactly the way it appears. Now this one I have to maneuver, I have to manipulate the problem to make it say y equals. So here I move the x, change the sign, divide by the number in front of the y. So here's where I was talking about you don't have to simplify. So here I would say y equals 24 minus 8 all over 12. And this will go into y2. So I've cleared my memory just so that our calculators are in the same place. Second plus 712 to clear your memory. So I'm going to go to y equals, alpha y equals negative 1/4 x plus alpha y equals to get the fraction. So there's what we put in y1, and y2 I'm going to type in alpha y equals enter so that I can get the fraction, and make sure that you're typing in 24 minus 8x, and then 12 on the bottom. So now I go second trace. I want to look for the intersection. Let it graph. Remember this little circle, yellow circle moving over here? That means that it's working. So let it finish its graphing. I can see the intersection. So now I can enter 3 times because I want this word, the word intersection, to come up here. So 1, 2, 3. The intersection is x equals 3 and y equals 4. So I'm going to write both of those values down. So now I need to make sure that I'm answering the actual question, and it tells you what's the value of x. So the value of x in this problem is negative 3. Okay, number 2 wants us, says some values of 2 linear equations are shown in the tables below. You have equation 1 and equation 2. What is the solution to the system of equations represented by these tables? Okay, so in order for it to be a solution, if we look back at this one that we just talked about, this is, if we're looking at the table, we need to make sure that the numbers match. So if you look here, if we go to negative 3, you see how they both have negative 4 in the y? That's basically what we're looking for here. And sometimes we have to extend the graph. On this one, we don't. So here, if I go to 7, it's 7, negative 3, 7, 12. So that's not the answer. Negative 1, I may have to extend it, but it's not there. So let's see if we can find another one. Negative 3, 2. Negative 3, 2. So these both have negative 3, 2. So there's my answer. So your solution would be negative 3, 2 as an ordered pair. Okay. Number 3, a college student needs 12 classes that are worth a total of 50 credits in order to complete her degree. The college offers both 4 credit classes and 5 credit classes. Write a systems of equation that could be used to represent F, the 5 credit classes the student can take to complete her degree, and H, the number of 4 credit classes. Okay, so to keep in habit of what we were doing last time, we're going to say here's the 50 hours or the 50 credits, and you have 4 credit classes and 5 credit classes. So all that's going to be one sentence. And then you have 12 classes. Okay, and H is the number of 4, and F is the number of 5 credit classes. So this is where we're coming up with those two numbers. So I'm going to look at the yellow first. So I'm going to write F plus H. So the number of 5-hour credits and the number of 4-hour credits have to equal the 12 the 12 classes. Okay, and then let's talk about the 50 credits. So here you have 4, nope, that was 4H. Plus your 5, F equals your 50. Okay, so the 12 went with the classes because these were all talking about classes. The 50 went with the credit because these are credit hours. So I put 4H and 5F because these are what it basically told us what the answers or what the letters represented. All right, number 4. The junior class at Summerfield High sold a total of 575 tickets to their spring festival. The number of tickets sold, the adult tickets sold for $9.50 and the student tickets sold for $5.50. They collected $3,212.50 on ticket sales. Which system of equations can be used to find how many adult tickets A and student tickets S the class sold? Okay, so here I need y'all to remember that money goes with money. So all of this goes together. And then the other thing I need you to know is that the total number of tickets is 575. So I'm going to look at the money equals money first. So $9.50 for the adult ticket plus $5.50 for the student ticket gave us the $32.12.50. Okay, so if you look at your answer choices, these are all the ones that have the number, the cash that it equaled. So here, these numbers don't have, or these letters don't have the values that they're supposed to. So I can cross that one out and that one out, because these don't check. Now here, they put the S first, but that's okay. And they left the 0 out, which it doesn't change the value. But these two are in the right place. So that these two check out, which means I need to make sure that I'm addressing the second equation, which is the total number of tickets was 570. So the two tickets were, or the two types of tickets sold were adult and student tickets. Okay, so if we look at this, neither one actually has the correct answer because this is an addition, that's a subtraction. But if you look here, this tells us that A equals this number. So if I were to move this S over, I would get a negative S, which means that one checks out. And that's your answer. Okay, number 5. Alright, so I'm going to write these two equations and solve for y, except I'm not going to simplify. Okay, so I'm going to move the x, change the sign, divide by the number in front of the y. So in y1, I'm going to type in negative 16 minus 16x divided by 14. Okay, in y2, let me do this in a different color. In y2, I'm going to solve for the second equation. So again, I'm going to move the x, change its sign, divide by the number in front of the y. And again, we're not going to simplify. So in y2, I'm going to type in 8 plus 8x negative 7. So I'm going to put this in the calculator exactly as it's written. So I'm going to go to y equals and clear out what I had. Alpha y equals enter. Negative 16 minus 16x over 14. Alpha y equals enter. 8 plus 8x over negative 7. And remember, we don't want to simplify. Actually, if you want to simplify, you can. This is just, I think, an easier way. It saves a little bit of time. Okay, so I'm going to graph, or I'm going to press second trace. I want to look for the intersection. I want to make sure that I see the intersection. Remember, if I don't see the intersection, I have to zoom out. So what did y'all notice when these were put in? So if you look, I'll try to graph it one more time for you. Okay, so there's the first line. There's the second line. So if you look, they're on top of each other. So if I go to second graph, these numbers are all the same. So I don't know if y'all remember, this is what you would call infinitely many solutions. And I just abbreviated IMS. Alright, so the last one you have